Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how it all works? Today, we're rediving into the incredible story of a man who answered that question in a way no one had before, Johannes Kepler. His journey wasn't just about stars and planets. It was a story of overcoming immense hardship to change our understanding of the cosmos forever. Johannes Kepler was born in 1571 in a small town in what is now Germany. His childhood was far from easy. His family was poor, and he was a sickly child. He suffered from weak eyesight and was often ill, which meant he couldn't play and run around like other kids. Instead, he spent his time quietly observing the world, a habit that would later define his genius. His home life was unstable too. His father was often away, and his mother, though strong, made for a challenging upbringing. But this solitude gave him a unique gift, the power of careful observation. When Kepler was just 6 years old, his mother took him outside to see a spectacular comet blazing across the night sky. A few years later, he witnessed a lunar eclipse. These celestial events were magical to the young boy, sparking a lifelong fascination with the heavens. He started to watch the stars, wondering about their paths and the hidden order behind their movements. Despite his challenges, Kepler was a brilliant student. He earned a scholarship to the University of Tübingen, where he studied mathematics and astronomy. At the time, the entire world believed in the Ptolemaic system, the idea that the Earth was the center of the universe. But Kepler was introduced to a radical new theory from a man named Copernicus, who argued that the sun was actually at the center. Kepler was immediately convinced. He embraced this sun-centered model, even though it was controversial and widely rejected. After university, in 1594, Kepler became a math teacher in Graz, Austria. It was here that he wrote his first major book, The Cosmographic Mystery. In it, he proposed a beautiful, but ultimately incorrect, idea that the orbits of the 6 known planets were structured around the 5 perfect geometric solids. Imagine nesting a cube inside a sphere, then a tetrahedron inside that, and so on. He thought this was the divine architecture of the solar system. While the theory was wrong, it showed his deep conviction that the universe was governed by elegant mathematical laws. The year 1600 marked the most important turning point in Kepler's life. He moved to Prague to work as an assistant to the legendary astronomer Tycho Brahe. Tycho was the greatest observer of his time. Without a telescope, he had meticulously recorded the positions of stars and planets for decades, creating the most accurate set of astronomical data in the world. But when Tycho died unexpectedly just a year later, Kepler inherited this treasure trove of information. He was appointed the new imperial mathematician and finally had the key to unlock the secrets of the heavens. Kepler set his sights on the biggest puzzle in Tycho's data, the orbit of Mars. Its movement just didn't fit any existing theory. For years, Kepler labored, trying to force the orbit of Mars into a perfect circle. The shape that everyone from the ancient Greeks to Copernicus believed was heavenly. He crunched the numbers again and again, performing hundreds of tedious calculations by hand. He would find a model that almost worked, only to discover a tiny error that forced him to start all over. He famously said he was waging a war with Mars. After years of relentless effort, he finally had a breakthrough. He realized he had been clinging to a false assumption. The data was telling him something revolutionary. The orbit wasn't a circle at all. It was an ellipse, a slightly squashed circle. This realization led to his first law of planetary motion. Planets move in elliptical orbits with the Sun at one of the two facets. This was a radical departure from 2,000 years of astronomical tradition. But he didn't stop there. He soon formulated his second law, which explained that planets don't move at a constant speed. A line connecting a planet to the Sun sweeps out equal areas in equal amounts of time. In simple terms, this means planets speed up when they get closer to the Sun and slow down as they move farther away. These two revolutionary laws were published in his 1609 masterpiece, New Astronomy. 10 years later, in 1619, he unveiled his third law in a book called The Harmony of the World. This law revealed a beautiful mathematical relationship connecting a planet's orbital period, the time it takes to go around the Sun, to its average distance from the Sun. With these three laws, Kepler had created the first complete and accurate mathematical description of how the planets move. He had replaced ancient speculation with precise, testable science. Kepler's genius wasn't limited to the stars. He made fundamental contributions to the field of optics. He was the first person to correctly explain how the lens in the human eye forms an image on the retina, and he designed an improved version of the telescope, now known as the Keplerian telescope, which became the standard for astronomers for centuries. Throughout all these incredible achievements, Kepler's personal life was filled with tragedy and turmoil. He struggled with financial insecurity his entire life. He was caught in the middle of intense religious conflicts, forcing him to move his family multiple times. In one of the darkest chapters of his life, his own mother was accused of witchcraft and thrown in prison. Kepler spent years and a small fortune defending her, eventually securing her release. Yet, through it all, his scientific work never stopped. Johannes Kepler died in 1630 without the wealth or fame his work deserved. But his legacy is monumental. His laws of planetary motion provided the crucial foundation for Isaac Newton's theory of universal gravitation. A few decades later, Kepler was one of the first true scientists, proving that the universe wasn't just a mysterious, unknowable realm of the gods, but a machine governed by precise, discoverable laws. He taught us that through observation, reason, and mathematics, we could truly understand our place in the cosmos. So the next time you look at the stars, remember Johannes Kepler, the sickly boy with bad eyesight who endured poverty and persecution to give us the keys to the universe. His story is a powerful reminder that curiosity and perseverance can overcome any obstacle. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the people who changed our world.